Hey, what is up, traders? This is Stan Gluzman here with 7 Points Capital, bringing to you today's trader takeaways. So let's take a look at what we traded today. It was a relatively easy day. If you're avoiding traps, it was a pretty easy day. I pretty much only traded for the first 30 minutes or so, and then after that, the risk reward just wasn't really making sense to me, so I closed out everything. So let's just jump into the trades. HIOs was my biggest winner for the day. I did ruin it a little bit midday, but the setup in the morning was really nice. So this is one of my best setups where we have a pretty solid downtrend. Out of the gate, we pop just a little bit and then we sell off, and then we're always holding this level right here. So we popped, sold off a little bit, popped, sold off a little bit. So to me, all these pops, originally I was risking this level right here, but then once we rejected, I'm always risking moving down the stop and adding more size, covering into washouts and reshorting pops. After that, I scaled out here and I left it alone. It just it looked like they were buying, it looked like they were soaking bids, and we've been having a lot of traps this entire week. There's probably every day there's one insane runner that traps, and then they just buy, they just take liquidity, buy the offer and just take it up. I thought something like that might happen. I wouldn't want to be long, but I also don't want to be short. So, and that's exactly what happened. So let me just pull up my executions just to show you. So right here, out of the gate, I'm not sure what this one is, but I was shorting, covering, shorting pops, covering. I held the core and I was thinking we might break out, so I trimmed a little bit. Once we stuffed and we held, get back in and cover into the wash. I did screw up the backside trade right here. I was just so cautious. My stop was just above this consolidation, so pretty tight stop, but I just wasn't willing to, I wasn't ready to take a loss, and that's why I took a loss. So if that makes any sense, that's kind of how it usually works. When you're so scared to take a loss, you get shaken out so easily, and then the actual move happens. So ruined this one because I just didn't want to give back, but yeah. So let's jump into the second one. Was ACST. This one was another pretty easy one. Was watching this, we were trading this yesterday the entire day. It was setting up, it was kind of wedging, and we closed pretty weak towards the low of the day. And I was thinking today we're gonna wash out, maybe a little pop and wash out, and that's exactly what happened. So I waited for the pop to kind of top out, and then got in on the way down in this consolidation, and then we dropped. I added a little bit more, and we actually triggered SSR, I think at 09 or 108, I think was SSR, and of course they hit SSR and they kind of pop it back up, and then it's going sideways. But I got pretty decent size from here, so that was a pretty nice trade. Let's see, next one was MGI. This one has been in play for quite some time. And let's see, somebody called this out on the floor and I just jumped in. It closed, it opened pretty weak after a pretty big gap up and sell off. So it kind of looked like head and shoulders and about to break down. So MGI took this one as well. After it drops, makes a bounce, tops out, and starts to roll over. And once we are coming in with big volume bars, I'm just taking it off, and that was pretty much the dead bottom. So it took the predictable move. After that, I'm not sure where it wants to go, so I'm flat. Next one was SEEL. So this one was day one, active ATM, and they just start selling this like crazy. Of course, I don't catch any of this. I'm usually waiting for the open, but there was a nice setup at the open. Wasn't much meat on the bone, but the setup was there. I was just waiting for that stuff to kind of to weather the storm, and I got in a little bit before this pop over 50. I got in with a quarter, probably even less than a quarter, like 1/6 of my full position or so, just to give it a little bit more room. And once we topped out, I started adding and just scaled out into the big wash and left it alone. Definitely missed out on a little bit, but there was just not too much meat on the bone from the gap. Probably had another 10-15 cents or so. And the crazy stock for the day, CETX. So this one I avoided this as much as I could. Simple reason, it's not really my setup where it gaps and starts to downtrend. We didn't really have too much of a gap, and it wasn't really downtrending, and it was also pretty thin. It's very, very low float, around 1 million or sub 2 million float, so it's not really my bread and butter. So I was just kind of watching this. It was trading very thinly and squeezing very, very easily. However, I still want to trade this one on the backside, so I'm just stalking it for the backside. I'll show you another one, but this one I got in as we were curling down right here. I thought top out, sell off, top out, sell off, and then a lower, and then squeeze on the lower high here, and it's kind of curling down, so I want to be involved here. So I got in, and I was right for a little bit. I thought that the tape was pretty weak. Didn't take, I only took off like 1/5 or so, pretty small here. But I was waiting for a big washout to like $3 or so. Had orders ready and everything at $3. I thought that was pretty reasonable, but they brought it back, and I just took it off at break even, because I thought that if it cups, it has a lot of power to move up really quickly because of such low float. So I took it off at break even, and that was a good move. So the one that I was waiting for from yesterday was XSPA. So this one is kind of similar to CETX today, where it traps, it shows you that it's downtrending, and then it makes a new high, and then it makes a new high, and each high is higher than the previous one by like not too much, and then it dumps. So it just rotates everybody. So CETX was sort of like that, even though CETX was a little bit weaker. But I was waiting for the backside on this one, and pre-market they dropped an 8K, I think, and just killed it. So hopefully tomorrow we'll have a nice backside. Ideally, either a gap down and a parabolic move into the resistance, or even a gap up and a crazy move and lower highs to start shorting small, and then adding once it breaks support. But hopefully it's not just gonna open at $2 or $2.50. So pretty nice day. Tomorrow is Friday, and we're going out for drinks right now with the team. Thank you guys for watching. If you have questions, as always, you can tweet at me at Chocana Trader, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.